Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aziz Drives. Today we are in beautiful Barcelona. We flew extra to Spain to present a new car, and it's this, the Audi RS3 facelift, an incredible machine with an incredible look. But before we start, let me explain what you will get in this video today. First, we're going to talk about the review of the car and its new features. Then we're going to drive it on some beautiful Spanish roads, mountain roads, and third one is going to be the craziest track experience I had so far. So make sure to stay to the end, leave a like, subscribe. Let's begin. At the first sight, you might think it doesn't look that much different than the older model, right? But you're wrong. They went into full detail to make this car better than the old model. An example was that this car has actually the world record for the fastest hatchback on the Nürburgring. 7 minutes and 33 seconds, which is absolutely insane. And how did they achieve that? Well, they went into the details. First of all, we have a new designed grille in the front, a new single frame design, also looking very sporty in this black finish. Very nice, and openings here to cool the brakes and to cool the engine, obviously. Then we have a new matrix LED light system with those beautiful LEDs here that you can change in the different styles and how you want it, like the RS icon and so on, everything you want. You will notice that the car has a new matte finish. This is the first time that you can get an RS3 with a matte finish here, and it looks absolutely gorgeous in this grey. I really like it. Now, something that I noticed instantly is this phenomenal wheel design. It comes directly inspired from the Audi RS3 LMS, which they drove on the racetrack and actually were very successful. Beautiful rims, beautiful design, very nice color fitting with the outside. Here we have the normal steel brake, but you could get an optional ceramic brake, which you will see a little bit later in the video. Then we have the carbon pack, obviously, in the front with the new front bumper, here with the side mirrors, and then obviously down there with the side skirts. Very beautiful. The rear has a nice little spoiler, blackened out windows, obviously, and a blackened out chrome line here. Beautiful. When we come to the back, a couple of things have changed. For example, the taillights have now a facelift, obviously. The little spoiler, very nice. The new Audi logo here. But the most noticeable change is here. We have a massive diffuser with a big carbon pack here that looks very nice. And you will notice the vertical reflector here, which is part of the new Audi DNA, also inspired by racing. Now, this is actually a functional diffuser and it works very well. This car is unbelievable to drive. But now let's talk about the engine. Let me pop the hood and show you what the engine is all about, because this is what makes me the most happy about the whole experience. I was a little bit scared that Audi will ditch the 5-cylinder engine and go for a 4-cylinder option with a little bit slightly tuning, but here, look at that. They're beautiful. 5-cylinder engine, man, still a 2.5 liter TFSI with 400 horsepower and 500 newton meters of torque. They didn't change anything on the engine, actually. It doesn't have more horsepower or is stronger and so on. They made the car better. That's the interesting thing. Now accelerating from 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds and topping out at 290 kph. That's unheard of. So now, let's have a listen. Welcome to the interior of the Audi RS3. Now, what has changed in the interior between this and the facelift? The most noticeable change is instantly this incredible steering wheel. I love the new steering wheel design. Flattened top and bottom, very nice. This is not called Alcantara anymore. It's called Dynamica, and it feels absolutely wonderful and premium. The seats are phenomenal too. The snapper leather option, very beautiful. You can get either this or the bucket seats for the racetrack, which are also phenomenal to sit in. And obviously we have this Alcantara, which is now called Dynamica, in the middle of the armrest. Very beautiful. Everything else has basically kind of stayed the same. The looks are the same. They adjusted the infotainment system. They changed a little bit of a carbon pack here, which is also very nice. And we have some red elements. For example, this is called the Red Package Plus, Red Plus package. And you have some red air vents here, and obviously the 12 o'clock mark for the race experience. And that's about it. But the most important change is the drive select. And I mean, this really has changed completely. When we look at that, we have the efficiency, comfort, and dynamic mode. Dynamic is really interesting because obviously you have the RS individual mode that you can adjust yourself. I set everything to dynamic. Drive system, the torque splitter, the suspension, the steering, the engine sound, and so on. Everything set to dynamic. But then when you go here, the car transforms completely, and I really mean transforming completely. Now, what is the torque splitter doing? And I'm telling you, it's literally the craziest thing I ever experienced, because I've never drifted an all-wheel driven car that easy. You can skip to the race part to see that if you want, and then come back for the explanation. Now, the outer rear, for example, when you're going into a left corner and flooring it completely, it will send 100% of the power to the outer rear tire, which means it will oversteer dramatically, because the outer tire will have all the power while the inner doesn't have any power, which makes it not grip. Obviously, the front tires are going to spin like crazy, 50% of the whole power output, and you're going to have a drift, which makes this in that moment a three-wheel driven car. Very interesting, but it works phenomenal. What you have heard now is the so-called performance start, the emotional start, and that's how this car actually is. But before we go into dynamic mode, let's start with efficiency mode, because I think efficiency is really a very interesting mode. To me, it's either efficiency or dynamic mode. Now, efficiency is a very cool one, because when you start to drive off, you will notice the car is very comfortable, which it actually is. It's not as hard as an A45S, for example, or any of those other competitors. It's just a very normal and nice car to drive. And the best thing is, it is only a front-wheel drive when you're driving in efficiency mode, especially on the Autobahn, and that's how you save fuel. I mean, that is a great way to save some fuel. Otherwise, if it would be full all-wheel drive all the time, you would lose a little bit of energy. I really like that concept. When we then go to auto mode, this is a very good mode. It will sort of adjust itself, right? It will allow you the fast shifts. It will calculate the road. It will see how the road condition is, whether you're trying to drive fast or whether you're trying to drive normal. It's a very good mode for every day. But obviously we came here to check the performance of the car, and for that you just go into Dynamica. You can do this in dynamic mode, sorry. You can do this via the dynamic mode in the screen, or you just use the RS buttons here. You have your RS button with the individual RS mode, and you have your track button on the left side with a track symbol, which is putting it into dynamic performance mode. And then the third one would be the drift mode, but you can experience that in the lap we have done with it. Now, what I love about it is the turning feels very nice, direct on the road. The brakes feel very beautiful. Pedal feel fantastic. Engine response, beautiful. Power output, phenomenal. If you put it into manual via press of the manual button, basically, it will stay in manual. Hitting the ref counter, the ref limiter, blah, 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 no problem. It's really a great car to experience, especially on roads like this. What a wonderful road we're on. I mean, how it turns in, it's just absolutely phenomenal. The sound experience inside the cockpit is beautiful. They are projecting a little bit of the sound inside with the boxes, but it's still very nice. It's not aggressive or a fake sound. It's really nicely configured with the engine note. It's beautiful. What I hate though is the driving modes coming on every time you start the car up. I mean, it's just very annoying, man. So we have to sort of go in here and change all of the driving assistancies and turn them off. Every single one of them, like 50 driving modes, driving assistancies. It's absolutely insane. Look at that. Shifts, absolutely brilliant. I'm telling you, this is literally the best hatchback I've ever driven in my life. It is so fast. It is so beautiful to drive. You can hear the turbo noises, the whistle. It's just a brilliant car to experience. And one of the best things is also the launch control. I mean, they made this car so much quicker than it was before. And for the launch control, you just put it into drive, right? So it shifts itself. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the throttle. Pow! That was a 0 to 100 in 3.6 seconds. That's absolutely bonkers. I'm telling you, it's sad that we can't experience on this road how fast this car actually is. That's why we had to take it for the track, man. We had to take it on the track because a hatchback is nowadays not able to be experienced on a mountain road. Imagine how fast this has become. I mean, the turning, the acceleration, how it sticks to the ground, how it shifts. Everything has just been sharpened, and you can really tell this is a proper sports car. I mean, 7 minutes and 33 seconds is absolutely insane on the Nürburgring. It really is. It's almost as fast as a M4 competition. And if you've driven that car, you know that this is a brutal car to drive. This is 2 seconds slower and has 110 horsepower less. Sick. Incredible job of Audi. But in all honesty, I think we should just skip this part now and go to the racetrack. So I'll see you there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're sitting in the latest Audi RS3 on a racetrack, which we're obviously going to check. So for that, without further ado, let's go. You'll notice one thing with the Audi RS3, it's fucking crazy to drive. The carbon ceramic brakes are gripping phenomenal. It doesn't understeer anymore. It just goes neutral into the corner because of the torque splitter. We're currently driving a Trofeo R, which is arguably the best tire you can get on the world right now. We're approaching our corner and full on the brakes. You see that? It really goes beautiful in. And the best thing is, if you wanted to oversteer, you can do that. Now fully on the brakes, carbon ceramics, bam, bam. Very nice. Turn in and accelerate out. You see that? Neutral, torque splitter, pushing from behind. Ah! This is fucking crazy, man. I swear to God. You can hear it oversteer a little bit, but almost no understeer. Now fully on the brake for the chicane. No problem, I'll go in slower. Yes, sir, full on the throttle. 4th gear, double clutch system working phenomenal. 100 meters before the corner. We're taking it easy here. 3rd gear out of here and onto the curb. Yeah! Oh, this might be one of the craziest experiences. I love it. It's unbelievable how good this car became, really. Look at that. Turn in hard. Very nice. Accelerate out. And then approaching the corner, 2nd gear. Go very beautiful here, a little bit wide. Yeah, and onto the curb. Come on! On the brakes a little, 170 kph here, imagine. And then let it cool off a little here, and we're going for the 2nd lap. I mean, this is absolutely insane. It really is insane. It really drives so well. You wouldn't imagine, I would have never thought that an Audi RS3 would drive this way. It's incredible. And I can tell how they beat the Nürburgring record. They are the fastest machine you can get right now. I'll drive another lap and then I'll let you enjoy a POV with only listening to the car. 3rd gear. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try to give it a little bit of a drift, so you can experience the torque splitter some more. For that, driving modes, torque rear, activate. Yes sir. Then ESP completely off, just for you to understand what is happening. If you turn the ESC off completely and you go approach a corner and you really throw it out, it will let the rear slide because it's giving 100% of the power to the rear. You see that? A little bit of oversteer here. Then on the brakes, bam, bam. Let's try that out. And now, look at that. Look at that. Look at me drifting this thing around the track, man. Come on. Another approach. Third gear. Let it slide. Woohoo! Yeah, we're out. Shit. Oh my God. This was maybe a little too much. But hey, we're alive. But you have seen it, right? Now, put the ESC on, go into performance mode, and let's drive a little bit better here. Around the corner, accelerate out, tires feel good, everything is all right. Nothing happened. And now on the brakes, you really have to watch out with those with the torque splitter mode in the rear. I mean, thank God I know what I'm doing. Otherwise, we might have crashed. But that was spinning the rear wheels at 160 kph. Turn in here and accelerate out. Very beautiful. Performance mode is the only mode you should go with. It's the best one. Then full on the brakes here around this corner. And now we're coming to the end. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is I'm going to do a cool-off lap, and then I'll let you enjoy the POV experience. Okay, no talk, just POV experience. That was the whole lap, friends. That was it.